Hi everyone, welcome back. My name is Leanna and I'm a full-time reseller, and today we're talking about what sold. I'm going to go over a few sales from the past few weeks, and we're going to talk about cost of goods and where I got these things, and we're going to talk at the end about why my sales are so slow. Anyway, so far September has been okay. It is nowhere near where it was last year, and my sales this month are much better than August already, but I have not seen consistent sales at all since April. My sales have been very, very low since April. And when I first started the year, Monday, January, February, March were incredible. They were fabulous months. I went, yes, I'm on track to get my goal for the year and everything else. And then April happened and it just went like it was awful. I don't know what's going on. I know that back in April at the fireside chat for Poshmark, they did talk about putting us into test groups about the algorithms and the search functions and all that, and it was messing with people's sales. So I still personally have not recovered from that time. Things are getting a bit better on Poshmark, but they're nowhere near what's reflected in the work I put in. I put a lot of work into Poshmark, Poshmark Canada, Poshmark US. I have to spend time every single day on the app, listing, sharing, doing this, doing that, blah, blah, blah. And the sales are not reflecting it. So anyway, enough of that for now. We'll touch base with it again at the end of the video. But what has been selling? eBay has been much, much better over the last couple of months, and I have been listing myself on eBay. I'm happy with those sales. We're going to talk about eBay first. So the first sale I want to talk about is this Diane von Furstenberg silk dress. I picked this up at the bins, so I'm into it for maybe $2, and it sold for $69 US. That sold in August. I was happy about that. It had been listed on Poshmark for a couple of months with lots of attention, but nobody wanted to buy it. So $69 American is really good. My cost of goods, for the most part, are going to be in Canadian dollars, and sometimes the sale prices are in American. I'll make sure that I keep them separate. The next item, again from the bins, are these Tory Burch sandals. These were less than a pound. They were very lightweight. So $1.50 maybe, and they sold for $29 US. That is pretty good. I like that a lot. The next item that we're going to talk about is the Patricia Nash bag that I picked up in the States. We went over for an estate sale on a Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know what day of the week it was, which is actually really cool that they have estate sales during the week. That doesn't really happen here in Ontario. I picked this bag up for $6 US, and it sold for $100 US. Even though it sold to somebody in Canada, it was listed on ebay.com. They paid in American funds, so that was really cool. The next item I'm going to talk about is my only Vinted sale, and we don't spend a lot of time on Vinted because it's one of those platforms. First of all, they're having some issues. People aren't getting paid, people's listings are being blocked, people's accounts are being blocked or deleted. It's been crazy over there. But I did sell this pair of Remonte shoes, and they sold for $35. And the very cool thing about Vinted is that $35 is all mine. Sellers don't pay any fees. But again, we don't spend a lot of time on Vinted because, first of all, here in Canada, it's a very small audience, a small market, and there has been issues, so I haven't been listing there at all. Now, like I said earlier, Poshmark, my Posh Canada, my Posh US, is not nearly where it should be. I have had a couple of really good sales, and I'm happy about them, but again, so we're going to start with the first one. Poshmark Canada first is this North Face sweater. It was a men's full zip sweater, and yes, it only sold for $24 Canadian, but this was a bins pickup. This was very light, so we're going to say $2. My bins charges $2.19 per pound, unless you have so much poundage and it goes down a bit, but $2.19. So this was less than a pound, so we're going to say about $2. When I have a very low cost of goods, I can afford to let an item go for a little bit less because I still make the profit I need to make. So I was happy with that $24 sale. The next item that sold on Posh Canada that I want to talk about is Johnston & Murphy sheepskin loafers. This is something that I saw at my local Mission thrift store. It was the right color tag to get 75% off, so they were only $2.50, and they just looked really good and they felt good. That it prompted me to look them up to see what I could, what I could compliment. And they sold for $45 Canadian. So $2.50 into 45 Canadian, that's a sale price, not profit. I thought that was really cool. The next item that we're going to talk about from Poshmark Canada is this little guy. I saw this at a Goodwill store about half an hour, 45 minutes away. It was priced at $1.29. It did sell for $50 Canadian. This brand is called Wrinkles, and it's a puppet. You put your hand, there's a space to put your hand in the head, and you can talk. The elephant, I have never seen the elephant before. I picked this up because it brought back sort of nostalgia, and I knew that my baby brother used to have the dog one of these when he was a kid. So it kind of just caught my eye because of that, and I looked it up, and $1.29 into $50 sale on Poshmark, it means I earned $40, but with cost of goods, my time, which wasn't a lot of time because it was basically photograph it and that's about it. And the packaging, I profited, $37 or, pretty good profit. I was really, really happy about that. So you know what, sometimes when you recognize something from your childhood, from oh, that looks like something my grandmother used to have, it's maybe worth your time to look up the comps to find out if it's worth selling right now. Because those are the kinds of things that maybe thrift stores will miss, and they will not price it, I'm not going to say correctly, but they'll price it lower, because this was only $1.29. So I was incredibly happy with that. Okay, so now we're going to Posh US. And like I said, Posh US is doing much better than Posh Canada, mainly because it's a bigger market. I'm going to say it that way for sure. We're going to talk about a couple of items that were thrift stores, and then we're going to talk about the bins pickups that I had that sold for good money. The first item is this Grass Fields. That's the brand. It is a dress. It had crinoline underneath. It had big puffy sleeves. It's this African sort of motif pattern, and the brand Grass Fields. I've got this at my local Goodwill 50% off sale, so it only cost me $4, and I sold it for $40 US. I like that return. That's not bad at all. The next item I'm going to talk about is this. It was a reversible, I think it was down, and forgive me for the pronunciation of the brand, but it's Lowell or Lole, or Lole, I don't know how to pronounce it. Lole. It's not a bad Canadian company to pick up once in a while for sure. I did pay $17 for this though, but it sold for $80 American. So that again is pretty good. It did sit, because I bought this last November, December, and it sat for quite a while. But it sold for $80, and I'm ecstatic about that. The next few items are bins finds. When I go to the bins, I find a lot of my items in bins that have already been searched through, which to me is mind-boggling. But I found some good stuff. First is this belt. It's one of those over-the-shoulder sort of belts. It had no brand. I don't think it was even real leather, and it did not weigh very much, so we're looking at under $2, and it sold for $30 American. That is amazing. The next item that we're going to talk about are these Fly London shoes. They have a leopard print. They were really cool. They're in pretty good shape. They were a bins find. Shoes do way more, so I'm going to say, $350 for these, and they sold for $40 American. So again, amazing. The next one I'm going to talk about, we're almost done too, is this Nike puffer vest. It was reversible. It was down-filled. I had it listed for like $40, I think, and it was only listed like a day. I got it at the bins. It was really lightweight, but we'll say $2. That is my cost of goods, and it sold for $30 American. Sometimes when I know my cost of goods was really low, and somebody shows they show, what's the word I'm looking for? Again, with my words, they've shown interest. What's going on? Fast, so this was only listed a day, but somebody offered me $30, and I was like, you know what? Quick flip, let's do it. And I took it only because I wanted that quick flip. I could have held on to it, maybe gotten more out of it, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and I still more than made my money back and made good profit on that item. The last item we're going to talk about is really exciting to me because I just did these in a haul. These are the Stuart Weitzman. They were knee-high. They were scuffed up a little bit, so I did leave the price down because I didn't want to over-expect because of the condition. Soles were good, but there was scuffs. These sold for $70, let me double check, $70 US. I picked these up at the bins from a bin that had already been picked through, and we're going to say $4 because they're a little bit heavier, but still $4 to a $70 US sale. That is amazing. I was very happy about that. Now, I'm going to talk about the bins because before we moved, we were like 3 hours away from the closest Goodwill outlet bins store. And we did visit it once, and it was during COVID, so it was not a pleasant experience, and that wasn't because of the people or the actual, bins itself. It was just because of the whole COVID thing, whatever, and it was a long drive. So I remember thinking, yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it when you live so far away. But now that we live closer and we go to the cross-border shipper at least twice a week, and the bins is a minute away from the cross-border shipper, it's more than worth my time. And I love going to the bins. And keeping my cost of goods low is really helping me in my business right now because my sales are so slow. And so keeping my cost of goods low is helping, for sure. Sourcing better items is helping when you can get them. This is what is really confounding me with my sales because I'm listing good items. I'm not listing crap. I'm keeping my cost of goods low, so therefore my sale prices don't have to be inflated as much. And yet, especially on Poshmark, because eBay's doing fine. We're even getting a couple of Etsy sales, which is awesome. Vinted is it's a sort of a list it and forget it platform, so I'm not counting that. But my Poshmark closets, my Poshmark Canada, my Poshmark US are dead. Like really and truly, I put in so much time. It is so labor intensive. You can't just wake up in the morning, spend a half an hour in front of your computer, list a whole bunch of items, and then go about your day. On eBay, I can get up in the morning, I can list 5 or 6 items in the morning, I can go and source better items, I can go and prep items to photograph and to get ready to be listed, I can ship, I can do a lot more things when I do my eBay. Poshmark, I can get up in the morning and I can spend half an hour listing or sharing or whatever, but then I got to repeat that, throughout the whole day. I can't just share it once in the morning and forget about it. You have to share multiple times a day, and now that they have the select all for sharing, I feel that you have to share even more. So there's more time involved in doing Poshmark than there is in doing another platform. And my sales are not reflecting the time that I'm spending. So I'm becoming very disillusioned with the platform because I'm not getting the feedback that I need. I'm not getting the sales that I need, even though I'm working really, diligently to do what I have to do. However, that being said, I think it's time to also, shake things up a little bit. So if you watched my video on Wednesday, I talked about sharing from the parties and organizing my closet a certain way to see if that would kickstart some of the algorithm and whatever. And yes, you know what? I've had a couple of sales over the past week, which is really cool. I want more, but at least it's something. Doing something different sometimes will help. So if you're very used to sharing at 9 a.m., sharing at noon, sharing at 3, sharing at whatever, change it a bit. Don't share at 9, share at, 1, or share at 5 o'clock in the morning. List your items at a different time or stagger them. Use the features of Poshmark because that's what they want. Try something different, something that you're not doing right now, and maybe that will help a little bit to kickstart your closets and getting sales. But again, I don't want to be a slave to a platform, and I use that term slave very lightly, and it's not meant to, but I don't want to be tied to my phone all the time. I don't want to be going, oh my God, it's 3 o'clock, I gotta go share. Or, it's 10 o'clock at night, oh, I gotta go share. It's like, no, that's not what I want out of my business. I want to be able to list it and kind of forget about it. I don't want to necessarily be active and have all this labor intensity when I'm not getting the sales to justify it. I don't know what's going to happen. I know that I still like Poshmark for the ease of the use. Listing is super easy. I love the shipping because we don't have to worry about it. There's huge parameters to ship heavier items, and you have lots of choice in how you package it. So there's really good things about it. But if my sales are not there, then it's not a platform that I want to use. I'm in this business to make money, and that's the bottom line. If I'm not making money, then I'm not going to be wanting to do those jobs that have to get done. Anyway, hopefully the rest of the month picks up and I can I can revisit this whole idea. I know that this weekend I need to get, back on the wagon of listing. I want to list at least 30 items in the next couple of days, plus list at least 15 to eBay. That is the goal for the weekend. I'll let you know on Monday if I did it, because that is, sometimes I gotta, sort of really just get back into it. So this week's been kind of crazy for us too. So anyway, that is it. That's my what sold. Some of them are really great sales and I'm happy with them. eBay is doing really well right now for us. And yeah, my Poshmark is still, since the fireside chat in April, I have not recovered from April. I have not had a fabulous month at all, from April to now. So April, May, June, July, and August. We're going into half a year where I've had crappy sales. And if it continues going this way, I won't reach the goal of, tripling my sales for the year. I won't be anywhere even close to it. So I gotta, think hard about what I'm gonna do, which way I'm gonna go, which way I'm gonna pivot, what I'm gonna do with my business, because this is my livelihood and I need to make money. Anyway, that is it. I hope everybody's having a fantastic week. I hope your sales are back up and going. I will be back Monday. I hope you all have a great weekend. Thumbs up if you like this content. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe. I upload Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that's it. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.